Okay, Chad. Today we are going to react to why mushrooms are starting to replace everything. Let's go. Um, something new.
Imagine a world where the homes we live in, the clothes we wear, and even the sensors in our electronics weren't manufactured, but grown. Mycelium, the root structure of fungi, is shaking up everything from sustainable construction to meatless bacon. It's turning agricultural waste into walls, hemp into compostable packaging, and fungal threads into leather that even luxury brands are eyeing. This mushroom material is set to insulate the facade of a 300-unit housing project
What?
in California. And now innovators are swapping out the sensors of robots for the electrical pulses of living mycelium. So how long until mycelium is just as ubiquitous as wood, metal, and plastic? I'm Matt Farrell. Welcome to Undecided. This video is brought to you by Incogni. I get requests all the time to follow up on exciting breakthroughs that I've covered in the past. A sort of where are they now for renewable
Wait, that's a good channel. Undecided with Matt Farrell. Shout out to Matt, bro.
technologies. With new uses for mushroom mycelium sprouting up in the newsfeed, I toured the farm of the company that pioneered it all, Ecovative. They walked me through the process of turning mushroom roots into versatile, sustainable materials. But first, what even is mycelium? When we think of mushrooms, we picture portobello caps, forest fungi, or maybe Smurfette's house. But
I just know that mycelium can be like so huge. You know what I mean? Like it is so widespread and you don't even see it, and I'm just amazed by it.
these are just the fruiting bodies. The real magic of mushroom happens underground. Beneath the soil surface, a vast network of mycelium threads acts as both roots and stomach, digesting and absorbing organic matter. These threads, called hyphae, are tubular structures that intertwine to form lightweight,
Hyphae, okay.
lattice-resembling foam. Dig into the forest floor and you'll find this white mycelium network weaving through dirt and wood, acting as a natural binder. This ability to glue loose materials together is what first fascinated Eben Bayer and Gavin McIntyre, the duo who dreamed up the mass farming and use of mycelium as a self-assembling, sustainable material. They mix mycelium with agricultural waste like corn stover or hemp herds, put it in a mold, and let nature do its thing. Fueled by plant matter, mycelium grows to fill the mold, forming an all-natural compostable foam. This happens fast. In just 4 days, a rigid mycelium structure is ready to be popped out of the mold, then grown for another 2 days until its surface is coated with a soft, velvety layer of mycelium. Once it's baked at a low temperature to stop the growth, it's ready for whatever application its creator thought up. For Bayer and McIntyre, that was mushroom packaging, which is the product that
But this has to be still more expensive than plastic, right? Because it takes like what, 4 days until the mycelium is completely grown out, and then 1 day to stop the growing. So 5 days
launched Ecovative
of
into the
production takes a little bit of time, but I mean, if it's like better than plastic, then why not, you
green
know?
economy. Their packaging has been used by Dell, Steelcase, and Emma Watson's gin brand, with much of it manufactured under license in the US, Europe, and even down under. Today, the mycelium-based packaging market is valued at nearly $85 million. And as more companies adopt greener packaging, it's projected to grow more than 9% annually, reaching over
Okay.
$200 million by 2034. Ecovative's innovations didn't stop at packaging.
This sounds like I bet he is also into stocks, bro. Maybe we need to buy the stocks because if it's only 85 million as of right now and it could get up to 200 million, that sounds not too bad, the potential, you know?
While touring a massive indoor mushroom farm in the Netherlands, where mushroom caps are grown on straw and picked by hand, Bayer got the idea to grow mycelium indoors as giant mushroom slabs.
Saw rooms like this, these big beds, and I realized that this was like the most automated, scaled mycelium infrastructure on the planet, devoted to growing this one very specific monocrop. And I had the vision of this, like, hey, what if we could create this biopolymer in our lab at this scale at a really low cost?
This is the mycelium technology I went to see for myself. It's a novel mushroom architecture grown from a strain of oyster mushroom plucked off of a tree in Troy, New York. Forget the mulch. This is pure mycelium, and it's unlocking a whole new realm of material possibilities. Looks like the world might just be Ecovative's oyster. They're calling it air mycelium.
But yeah, this is 12 days worth of growth. And you can see it just has a nice tissue texture. So this is like the future of indoor farming.
That's Lacey Davidson, who let me pull a bit of the mycelium off with a glove.
Oh, wow. It's kind of tacky.
Yep.
That is wild.
This is low energy, low resource farming. Unlike plants, mushrooms don't need grow lights. In fact, mycelium hates light. It thrives in the dark on damp sawdust and wood chips, upcycling waste into versatile building blocks. Water use is minimized too.
You hydrate the wood chips, more water is released from the digestion of the wood chips, and then while this room's really misty, we're mostly just recirculating this humid air that the moisture kind of respirates.
That moisture-laden air is blown around the indoor farm to mimic the mist and breeze of a forest. Once the mycelium reaches a point where it's fully matured but not yet sprouting, the giant racks it's grown on transform into conveyor belts, sliding thick sheets of mycelium right off the ends for automated harvesting. On just 1 acre of land, Ecovative's mycelium farm produces 3 million square feet of material each year. That's nearly 700,000 square meters of mycelium per hectare. But what's truly remarkable is air mycelium's versatility. It slices 2 ways to create 2 totally different products: leather pants and pocket bacon. But before we get into the surprisingly stylish side of mushrooms, and yes, leather pants are involved, let's take a quick pause. While mycelium might be growing out of the dark, your personal data shouldn't be. It's kind of shocking how easy it is to find your personal details online. Well, today's sponsor, Incogni, can help you get to the source of the problem and restore some of your privacy. Data brokers have made a business out of collecting your personal details and selling access to it. Seriously. Slabs of mycelium can be compressed with rollers and embossed to create an all-natural looking leather, with stretch, drape, and toughness of the real thing. That's a huge win for sustainability, because the traditional tanning process for cowhide is both chemical heavy and water intensive. Ecovative's forager leather, on the other hand,
It gets to skip like the nasty parts, right? Like all the
Yeah.
chromes, all the salts, all the deputrification. None of that has to happen. It just instantly goes in.
Right.
And there's also other added benefits where
This was made with mycelium only, and of course a little bit of metal and stuff. Right?
it's less time in the tumbler. So it doesn't take as long and as much water. So less energy, less water.
Right.
mycelium leather is also grown in just 9 days and produces half the emissions of conventional leather. It's cheaper too, ringing up at just 18 to 28 cents per square meter, compared to $5.81 to $6.24 for raw cowhide.
Damn!
And unlike vinyl and polyurethane-based pleathers,
I love that. I just love that, the fact that we don't need real leather anymore. There are so many alternatives, so we should use that. And if it's even cheaper, bro, come on. Like, that's a win-win.
forager leather is biodegradable. It breaks down like real leather instead of hanging around like plastic. Since I last covered Ecovative's mycelium-based leather, the company has partnered with Danish footwear brand Eco.
Okay.
Together, they're refining the leather-making process to produce custom-grown materials for shoes and accessories. And in 2025, Ecovative is scaling up in a big way. It's set to commercialize its leather with major brands already lining up, like Calvin Klein.
What? Ecovative. That you already know. Mycelium technology stocks. I'm curious if anyone else knows. I believe you might have watched this video. Which video? Is that the one? Damn. Yep, that's the video. Need to watch again. I saw the same video and checked the name companies, but none are public at the moment. I think you've been watching too much Star Trek. Okay. Just invest in taking to expand your mind. Okay. I'm also interested in this tech and buying, but apparently none of them is stock traded at this point. When was that? 4 years ago? Wait, how old is that video? 3 months. Okay, wait. I need to find it, bro. Oh, here we go. invest in what? Ecovative design stock. Ecovative is a biomaterials company focused on development of innovative materials from natural growth paths. Is it with mycelium? Ah, here. Yeah, even Bayer and Gavin McIntyre. Yeah, these are the two that he introduced. So how do I get that? Invest now. Let's see. Damn, bro. Okay, but it is ECDE. Let's see if it's what ECDE. Uh, how do I get it? Can I use that without like signing in, bro? With email, Facebook. Oh man, I don't have Gmail here. But okay, well, I'm sorry. I will do that, but another time. But I did my research, so I might invest in these stocks, to be honest.
Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and Veja among them. And Ecovative isn't the only company advancing mycelium-based textiles.
Like, come on, bro. If Tommy Hilfiger is partnering with them, it already sounds like good potential.
Mycotextiles. Ecovative isn't the only company advancing mycelium-based textiles or mycotextiles. MycoWorks, based in California, is
MycoWorks. Okay. Stock. We will
turning
look
reishi
at it.
mushrooms into luxury leather. It's already found its way into Hermes handbags. GM even explored MycoWorks fabric for several interior parts, including matte pockets of their Soleil electric convertible. I guess that makes mycelium the Cadillac of leathers?
Bacon. Okay.
If turning mushrooms into leather wasn't surprising enough, Ecovative also found a way to make bacon out of mycelium.
Evocative. Okay. I think this is the one.
They call it My Bacon, or maybe it should be called MYELIUM. It's already on the shelves in over 1,400 stores, and it's made from thick slabs of air mycelium.
Get harvest, they get the frost, and then it goes into a bacon flake there to get sliced.
If you take strips of air mycelium, soak them in a brine of sugar, salt, and natural smoke flavor, boil them up, and then add a little coconut oil, then you've got artificial bacon with a meat-like texture that fries up in a pan. That's exciting because about the only two things nutritionists seem to agree on are the benefit of eating more plants and less processed meat.
But still, bro, like this is basically just oil and salt, you know? I mean, it's better than bacon probably in terms of health. But still, you know, even vegan stuff and stuff like that, if it's like really oily, it is also unhealthy. Like you can have a unhealthy lifestyle even if you only eat vegan food.
Also exciting for the planet is making this bacon uses a lot less land, water, feed stuff, and, well, pigs.
This road chamber
Let's
is 1
go,
acre
that's
of
good.
land of all of them.
Okay.
That can do 1,000,000 pounds of my bacon annually on 1 acre of land.
That's 1,000,000 pounds of bacon made from agricultural waste and water with minimal energy inputs and compostable waste. But what all lovers of bacon need to know, and I am one of those people, it passes the sizzle test. And on a BLT or burger, I can say from experience, it tastes fantastic.
Like this would be so genius if he like researched first, right? Wait. Like if he researched that first and then he's like doing this video to shill the stocks he already invested in. Like this is next level, bro. But I mean, that's a good strategy. I would do the same thing, bro.
The only one who thinks so. My bacon is the fastest growing plant-based meat in the Northeast US, selling 3 times as fast as competitors. It's no wonder Ecovative just secured $28 million in funding to triple capacity and set up an additional farm in Canada. Later this
Oh yeah, they are going to take, you know, to take it to a next level. Okay, let me find out how to invest in that, and I will.
This summer, they're rolling out a pulled pork. I got to try it on my visit, cooked up with barbecue sauce, and it was surprisingly good. Tender, smoky, and close enough to the texture of the real thing, I almost forgot it was made from mushrooms. So we've got bacon and leather. What about packaging materials? It feels strange to list those together, but yet they're all part of a growing list of uses for mycelium. A startup called
Damn.
Gob in San Francisco, California is
Gob. Okay. Give me that gob stock. No way. Gob stock. Let's see. Mushroom. Mycelium. There's no way it's already in there. But okay. Yeah.
turning Ecovative's spongy mycelium foam into single-use earplugs. In France, Cause is developing
How do you put that into your ear, bro?
spongy mycelium foam into single-use earplugs. In France, Cause is developing surfboards with mycelium cores and bio-based resins. And in the Netherlands, Loop Biotech is growing biodegradable coffins from local mushroom species and upcycled hemp fibers. Mycelium is also a powerful sound dampener.
Loop Biotech. Stock.
Mushroom species and upcycled hemp fibers. Mycelium is also a powerful sound dampener, and Mogu, based in Italy, is using it to build a sustainable acoustic wall tile. In the Samrust House, which is a glamping cabin designed by the Czech Technical University to look like a cluster of parasol mushrooms, mycelium wasn't just cladding for the interior walls, it served as insulation panels too. Even the stools were grown from mycelium, which is probably the first time I've seen literal toadstools incorporated into interior design. All this architectural experimentation is surprising considering that mycelium isn't typically considered for weight-bearing applications. But when grown the right way with the right agricultural waste, mycelium bricks can be surprisingly strong. An initiative called Mycohab has built a one-bedroom home in Nambia using bricks.
Bro, how many companies is he chilling, bro? This is crazy. Mycohab, is it that one? Mycohab. Medicine. Mycelium. Mushroom. We should get that, right? All right.
Made with oyster mushroom mycelium and biomass sourced from invasive encroacher bush. The team claims that pressing and baking these bricks makes them stronger than concrete. Their hope is to someday produce these bricks from local materials at a low enough cost to provide fire-retardant housing for communities that need it most. We don't have to wait for someday to see homes constructed with mycelium though. In 2025, a 316-unit affordable housing complex called the Phoenix is set to open in West Oakland, California, featuring exterior cladding made from mycelium panels. These 36-foot long or 11-meter prefabricated panels are grown from Ecovative's mycelium and hemp blend in giant molds, then encased in a fiber-reinforced polymer shell for durability. The panels will serve as thermal insulation, cutting energy costs by keeping the building cooler in summer and warmer in winter. Mycelium is also naturally fire-resistant and has impressive sound absorption capabilities, which is perfect for this housing complex built next to a busy freeway. The truffle on top is that the mycelium cladding is also carbon negative. You might be wondering how smart it is to incorporate mold into a building structure, but this is only the root-like mycelium. That's not the fruiting body and definitely not the fungus spores. And once the mycelium is matured, it's baked at a low temperature to kill and stabilize it. But what if we didn't just build with mycelium, but what if we let live mycelium do the building? It's an idea that's truly out of this world. NASA is exploring whether living mycelium could be brought to the moon or even Mars to grow a habitat. At the NASA Ames Research Center in Mountain View, California, scientists are exploring whether astronauts could one day unfold a lightweight frame seeded with dormant mycelium, then just add water from ice deposits and wait for the structure to take shape. Unsurprisingly, pulling this off won't be as simple as throwing together some cup noodles. To make this work, they'd need to grow mycelium alongside algae to provide oxygen and food for the fungus. And to shield it from cosmic radiation, NASA plans to use a type that produces melanin, basically mycelium that can tan. Soon they'll be testing whether mycelium can grow in low orbit, bringing this technology closer to the moon than ever before. Space isn't the only frontier for living mycelium. Here on Earth, scientists are finding wild new ways to tap into its natural abilities, like turning it into living sensors for robots. At Cornell University in New York, researchers took
What?
advantage of mycelium's natural aversion to light to create a living sensor for biohybrid robots. They grew king oyster mushroom mycelium around
What?
electrodes and flashed it with light, triggering electrical signals within the fungal tissue. An electrical interface in the robot captured those signals and converted them into digital information, prompting the robot to move. The mycelium wasn't just an on-off switch either. Different intensities of light made the robot speed up, slow down, or even shift direction to move away from the light. Mycelium is incredibly sensitive to its environment, detecting not just light, but also chemicals, moisture levels, and even nearby plants. The Cornell team hopes that one day mycelium-based robots might be used for environmental monitoring. The vision is to let biohybrid robots take cues from the soil to determine just how much fertilizer.
Bro, I'm so like we have to really worry about these robots, bro. Like they invest too much into robots, and this doesn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? Like you can easily make a killing machine out of a robot, bro. Like we shouldn't go in that direction, to be honest. Like robots can help us with work and stuff like that, but then your job probably, or our jobs will probably go out the window, basically. And also that is the question. If like almost every job that requires like physical work will, get replaced with robots, then do these humans, what are these humans will do? What will these humans do? You know, will they just will they just be able to enjoy life without working, or do they have to find another kind of work and stuff like that, bro? Like, okay.
Is truly needed, reducing excess fertilization and therefore chemical runoff. We're talking sustainable agriculture on top of sustainable construction, consumer products and clothing, food and packaging, all from mycelium. These humble fungal threads are one of the most exciting materials to come along in decades because they're grown, not manufactured. Mycelium materials have the potential to replace plastics and foams that are derived from petroleum. And when they're worn out or out of style, they don't clog up landfills for hundreds of years or pollute our oceans or us with microplastics. Instead, they break down right into the soil, enriching it with nutrients that fuel new plant growth. This is the essence of a circular economy. Products that aren't just biodegradable, but regenerative. Mycelium is part of a cycle, grown from agricultural waste, assembled at a room temperature with minimal energy, and composted right back into the earth when it's all done. Nothing wasted, everything renewed. The best part is that mycelium does all this without sacrificing performance. It makes for sturdy foams, resilient leather, and even pretty convincing carnitas. But what do you
Crazy,
think?
bro.
Should we swap BLTs for MLTs? Or do mycelium alternatives psych you out? Jump into the comments and let me know. And be sure to listen to my follow-up podcast, Still to be Determined. We'll keep this conversation going. And thanks as always to my patrons for your continued support and helping to keep the channel going. Keep your mind open, stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.
W video. I love also these kind of videos. I know it is a little bit new, and I normally do like the more entertaining videos, but I actually like to watch these kind of educational videos, because that's basically what I want to do also, do educational videos, but in the spiritual realm, it was a coincidence basically that I understood that he might, invest in these kind of stocks. I mean, he looks like a smart guy, you know what I mean? Like Matt looks really smart, and if he's really smart, he invested in all of these companies, then made the video, and then basically shill it to all of us. So this is 3 months ago. It's not that far off from from the present. And I think it will be a good investment. I don't want to shill, but yeah, let's not talk about it. Let's not talk about investment and stuff like that. I'm not a financial advisor, you know, but I will look at it. That's all for it. So if you like these kind of videos, please make sure to like and subscribe and comment if you can, if you wanna. And because I just want to know if these kind of videos you all also like or not. Always, like, if you want to say something, give me some feedback or something like that, then you can always do that um in my DMs and stuff like that also. But yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.